afternoon, everybody. I was just thinking then, that back looks a little bit boring. Let's just put that in. There we are, that's better. It's because I've been inking up a tile, that's why. And I obviously didn't want to ink up a tile on my board. So, there we go. Oh, bit of a blue one today, pale blue. Here we go then. So, just going to work in there with tile 116. Woohoo! Friday afternoon. And yeah, I've got something a little bit different today, as always. And yeah, I understand that on Wednesday, the one that we did was a little bit challenging. But do you know what? I'm so proud of those of you that have tried so far. And you know, give it a go. And even if you do a rough version, it really doesn't matter. It's just about having a go. But I thought we'd just calm down a little bit today, chill out a little, and let's see what we can get going with this one. So, what do I have with me? I've got my pastel pencils, I've got my pen, my regular pencil, a tortillon, and I've got a stencil. I'm just going to use one to help me with some circles today. Now, you can obviously, you know, just do it by hand and sketch it, that's fine, but I know some of us do like to use the circle. So I've got this stencil. You can use your essentials, of course. This one came sort of free with book 3, I think it was, when I had it on the show. But I say, if you haven't got it, please don't worry about it. Just go freehand, see how it goes. So, okay, I'm going to use this larger circle. You see, it's not as big as the tile, it's a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to move it slightly to the left because I want it not to be in the middle, but just a little bit over, you see there? And I'm just going to put that in there. There we go. I'm going to sort of, there you are, in it goes, okay? All right, so far so good. Okay, here we go. Oh, next bit then, what I'm wanting to do is, I'm going to add a couple more circles in. Now, you don't have to have them in the same place as me. You see, I've got a couple of little ones here. This one's about 1 inch. This one's about 18 millish. I'm just going to have one of the large ones. And again, I'm just working in pencil. And let's have a look then. I'm just going to add a couple of smaller ones here. Let's go with one there. You see, I've inked the background. It's quite rough, but I didn't want it to be too neat as such. You see that one, that circle's sort of gone underneath there. So I'm just going, let's just put some very little lines so I can see where it's gone, okay? And then let's have a look, I've got a couple of little ones. Oh, thank you, Catherine. It's one of our new colours for March. Hey, I know, I'm getting all, you know, all prepared here, new colours. Here we go, here we are. So I'm just going to put one in there. So again, that's just gone behind that one there. There we go. So I've got a large one, a couple of small sizes and a couple of little ones. Might even go in and just sort of freehand a little bit of a smaller one there. All right, again, you're not going to see that once it's finished, so don't worry if they're not perfectly circular. It really doesn't matter. All right, okay. Straight in with a pen then. I'm going to go straight for the larger one, I think. And the first thing I'm going to do with my pen is I'm just going to put a bubble in the middle. So, you see that? I'm just sort of sketching it in. Okay. You can just, you know, go to one side if you want. Let's do all of those. There we go. Okay, so I've just got these little circles with bubbles in them. Okay, all right. So, coming into the larger one first, I'm going to add a line here, not quite at 12 o'clock, just slightly off. And down there. And then I'm going to come on in and add another one here. So it's sort of, it's not quite touching there. And there. They are, Joanne. They're not ready just yet. I'm just giving them a bit of a run to see what you think. Okay, so I'm going to do the same here. There we go. Ooh. They don't have to be in the same place. There we go. I'm going to do one there. And I'm going to have one here, there we go. All right, and one there. Okay, so that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 6 of the larger sort of sections. All right. So I'm going to just go from here now to here, add a little line. You see a bit of a curl. And then around. Oh, I'm not tempting. I'm just, all right, I'm just letting you see what's coming, just so you get a sneak peek before everybody else. And of course, you know, with it being spring and summer coming, ooh, it's nice to have a few different colours, isn't it? Something a little bit more, you know, to play with. There we go. So I'm just adding that little curve on each of those lines there. Just working my way around. Okay, see, I'm going to go straight over there as well. So I've got this funny little sort of shape going on. All right. So in the centre, I'm just going to go a little bit larger just so you can see what I'm doing here. There we go. And if we start in the middle, I'm just going to put a little line in. You see, sort of a flick. And then let's just do the same around the outside there. Same on the side there. And then turn it round. I'm going to do the same again here. They don't all have to be the same size. You see how they sort of flick around? There we go, same again. There we go, same that side. Turning it round. And working my way from one side, then to the other. Okay, same with this one. There's the larger. And again. Just adding those little lines, it makes a difference. And while we're here, I'm just going to come on in, I'm just going to add a little dot there. And then I'm going to create a little swirl in the middle. There we go. All right, let's have a look at that from a little bit more of a distance. There we go. So I've got this sort of little sort of pattern going on there. I think what I'm going to do, see, this is going to be my top because I want a little bit of darker feel there, do I? Yeah. I'm just going to enhance that. I'll just add a little bit of more black there. And now again, if I do the same on just that bottom bit of each of those curl lines, you see, I've just made them a little bit heavier. You see, you're getting a little bit of dimension there going in. Okay, so far, so good. Let's move into the next one. Oh, that's nice. John's just brought me a fizzy pop back. I've not had any in ages. So here we go. So same again. So I'm wanting a little bit of a sort of triangular, very sharp triangle shape there, isn't it? There we go. And then into this one here. So that gives me that shape. And then turning it round. Now if you want to put more in, go ahead. So if you think putting 8 in is easier than 6, then that's fine. You do that, it's not a problem. It's entirely up to you. But we're just going to work on the 6 just for today. But by all means, you do what you want to do there. And I see here this one's underneath. So I'm just going to sort of fill that in, and this one I'll sort of work its way around there later. Okay. So again, from the centre, if you feel that, you know, you want to just balance it out, and then I'm just going to flick round, just adding in those extra little lines. Okay. And just working my way around into this one. And into this one. And then again, let's add a little dot and then just swirl around there. And then of course, just going to add a little bit of weight to the bottom of those swirl lines. Okay. So into the next one. So here we go. I'm just going to add in that top one first. There we go. And turn it around. You see there, look where I've just applied some ink really roughly, and then I've gone in with a spritz and just added a bit of water and then patted it down with a paper towel. Just gives it that little bit of a mottled effect. I didn't want it to be sort of perfectly blended. I wanted a little bit of, you know, a rougher finish there. Just changes it up a little bit, just gives it a bit of something to get you going with. Okay. And just following it through there. See, I've not gone outside that original circle. I've just kept it within the lines just for now. And that one there. Okay. And then just as before, just add in those little lines. Just working my way around. There we are. Again, those lines, you don't have to count however many there are. You can just sort of fill the space in. So we've got these sort of random little lines. If you want to put little dots on the end, you can do as well. There's options. There we are. And again, in with that swirl. So just bringing it round. And then here we go. I'm just going to add a little bit more weight to the bottom there and to those little lines there. All right. Okay. So little one here. Let's do this one. And same as before. Look, we've got little triangles there. I'm going to do those there. Okay, that should give me my 6. And then again, just add that little curve to each end. There we go. Okay. And just as before, now you've got to work out which ones are which here because it's getting quite small. You're not sure, obviously it's the ones that are not so pointed at the bottom there. There we go. A tiny little swirl. Not get much in there. There we go. Over to the other side. And let's add one in here. So there we go. So there's the first. And then this one here. And then the space left. Let's just split that into 2. There we go. Okay. So into curls again, or on the outside. It must be nice outside, we've got people flying. So we do get a lot of light aircraft flying over here. We've got there's an airfield at the entrance, really, of the just across the road, the entrance to the estate. So we do hear a lot. There we go. We are, Chris, yeah, I've got another one. So it depends how many you've got, but obviously we've got other things that we're wanting to add to this. So we're just pacing ourselves. So we'll make sure we've got this. There we go. So it's quite a little one, but it's just sitting in the back there. All right. Little swirl there. Okay, let's have a look at where we're at so far. Okay, oh, that's nice. It's going to weight that one there. Okay, so we're all sort of at this point if we're sketching, if we're copying, or if we're going for it today. All right then, ready for the next bit? Okay, up we go then. So I'm going to start at one end. I'm going to sort of work my way across. And I'm going to come in with, let's going to go from here. I think it's quite a nice place to start. And I'm going to put in a curve. And you notice I've gone straight outside the original circle. Yeah, it does look a bit oriental, doesn't it? Maybe I should have done it more blossomy, but yeah, I fancied blue. Okay, so not at the top end, but not too far down. We're going to add this little sort of curve shape here and another, so it looks a little bit like a leaf, you see? And I'm going to do the same on the other side, like that. Oh, Margarita, I've used a little bit of blue ink and I just roughly threw some at it, and then I've used a water spritzer So you can see it there, look, and I've just spritzed water and then patted it dry, and so it's got that bit of a mottled effect. Okay, I'm going to bring another one down here, but this is going to be just a little bit bigger. See? And then here, a little bit bigger. Okay. So if we can, if you've got enough space, I'm just going to aura inside those little shapes. And then the same on this one. A little bit bigger there, see? Just filling that in. But of course, if you want to fill it in with colour, you can do. Just I've got my black pen here. Okay. So from the tip of this little leaf shape, I'm going to come in a little curve there. And I'm just going to fill that in just with lines. And then the same on this one here. I'm just going to come from this tip down here. And again, just some little lines. And then from this tip, instead of coming this way, I'm going to come down bank and down bank. Okay. I'm just going to add in some little lines that way, and just some little lines that way. And of course here now, I'm just going to extend that a little bit, and I'm just going to put another one in. Here we are. Oh. All right, up for another. So I'm going to come from the same place. I'm going to bring one out here. And then, as before, I'm going to add in a little curve shape there. Same on this side. And then I'm going to make one a little bit bigger here. And the same this side. There we go. And then let's do that lovely little aura and just fill in the gaps. They do, don't they, Tracy? They're nice. Just something a little bit different. I mean, we could leave it like that, but I like to sort of follow through with the extra little bits and pieces. It just sort of changes it up a little bit, gives it a little bit more interest. There we go. And then here we go. I'm just going to come down here, and then into those, and then into those. And then again, let's just add those in. Yeah. Now, I know, you know, we look at tiles and sometimes I know some of us struggle, but do you know what? I think a lot of the time there's going to be a tile or a particular tangle that you're going to struggle with. We all do, even I do. And the best thing to do with it is just to create your own from it, your own version, or just leave it to one side. Don't stress over it and carry on doing other things. You know, try a different video, but then come back to it in a little while. You know, once you've sort of relaxed a bit, and then just sort of see it again. You know, it's almost like fresh eyes, isn't it? And the most of it is, if it's something that you can't do, and there are going to be some that you find a little bit more challenging than others, then don't worry about it. Add something else in, do something different. But the whole idea is that, you know, you don't stress out with this. See, I'm not going to bring one from here out. I'm going to come from about here. And then if I want, I can just sort of maybe take that line in there. So, you know, the whole point is this, is that you just enjoy the process. You enjoy the drawing and adding the shadows, and then nothing else matters. And okay, if the end result isn't what you expected, then okay, leave it to one side, move on, do something else. There we go. But, you know, don't throw them away. You always find something in there that you like, even if you use it as a background. Okay. All right, so again, that just needs a couple of lines there. Look at that. Oh, okay. So I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 and 4. See, sometimes I don't know, I'm going to leave it at that much, I think, because I want to add a few other bits and pieces in. So I'm just going to bring another line in here. Oh yeah, Julie, that'd be quite nice to embroider. Let's go a little bit larger. Here we go. All right, so what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to add in a wave. And then bring it down as a wave. Okay. And then let's do another. And then another. See, wave. And then a wave back. Oh, my pen didn't want to work then. A wave back down. I'll get another one in there. Okay. And then just add in a little flick into each one. Okay. Let's do another. So I'm going to come in from the same bit here. So it's going to go up and round there. So I'm going to use that bit as part of my wave. There you go. Let's put that line in. See, this one's going to go behind here, so I won't see much of that one. But this one, in we go. Okay, lost my line now. Oh, there's my line. There we go. I'm using the wrong line. There we are. Couldn't see for staring there. There you go. So let's have a look at where they are sort of headed. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple more. Let's bring one in sort of up here. There we go, there's my line, look. Just going to continue that and bring that wave down. And then back up again and down. Okay. Now if you want to do the same on the other side, you can do. But sometimes, you know, you just think, actually, I'm just going to go on one side and just create something a little bit different. And of course, we're going to add some other bits and pieces in. I am going easy on you today. Yeah. Do you know what? I don't try and make you suffer on purpose. I think sometimes, though, if I don't give you something more of a challenge, we never sort of move on, and it's really important that we do that. We've got to try some things that are a little bit tougher now and then. So, you know, come back to them, try them. Okay, this time I'm going to add a little curve in. I'm going to put a little bobble on the end. And then, remember that little sort of butterfly petal thing we did earlier? One there, look. And one there. And then I'm just going to add in a couple along the way. Okay, let's just get another one in there. And then let's go in with another one. I'm going to go over the top of those. And in we go, both sides. And then again, just bringing it down. There we go. Let's add another one in. There we are. So there's my little bobble. And this time you don't see all of one side because it's going behind there. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sam. But you know, I know not everyone likes every tile, and I wouldn't expect you to, because there's so many and there's such diversity. I do try and cater, if I can, for all different tastes. So don't panic if there's one that you think, oh, it's not me. Don't do it. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all. But, you know, actually just going out your comfort zone and trying something different now and again does make a difference. All right, let's have a look. Oh, Rona, honestly, if you've seen where we started, you've got this. You can do it. I mean, even if, look, it's that with a little bobble on the end. And then I've just added little curves, look. Same the other side. And I'm just going to follow it down. There's another one, look, exactly the same shape. Nothing crazy. Well, not today anyway. Okay, so actually that looks quite like that. It looks almost twilighty kind of thing. It's a bit different. Okay, so let's have a look at the bottom then. see what we're going to do with this. Are we ready? All right, coming down there. And we can always go and add bits to the top if we need to, but for now, I'm going to just leave that there and work on this section here. So, okay, I'm going to work, see I'm on the large flower here. I'm going to start there. I'm going to have 2 lines coming out. And then here, I'm just going to add a wavy line. And then coming slightly inside that line, I'm going to do a similar thing. And then a wavy line. And then the same again. And a wavy line. And again. And a wavy line. Now it depends on how big you've drawn these, depends on how many you can get in there. But I'm actually going to go out of the circle there to that one. There we go. So on the sort of top end of these, let's just go a little bit larger so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Just going to add a little swirl that way. And a little swirl that way. There we go. Now you can do it either way. You can leave them blank. But I just think it looks quite nice if we add something to them. Yeah, they don't all have to be the same. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to sort of add a little bit of a fill in there. See? Just either side as I'm going. So that just sort of gives it a little bit of dimension. Now at the bottom here, I'm just going to sort of fill the whole bottom, you see? There we go. And then I'm just going to add a little bobble on the end. I'll just add 3. There we go. See? All right, let's have a look at that one there. All right, okay. I'm going to do another one. Now, you could do all of them straight if you want to. It might help if you put a couple of little guidelines in, if that's what you want to do. Or you might just think, I'm going to go a bit freehand with these. But if you feel that you need to add, you know, a little bit of a guideline in just to get you going, that's fine. But see, I've started a bit of a curve. There we are. See, so rather than it being straight, I'm just bringing them down again, just as before, but that little curve in this time. Oh, a bit of a curve in there as well. Straighten that. There we are. Okay. And another one. So I'm just sort of coming out there. Okay, let's just, again, let's do the swirls first. Now if you want to do each one separately, that's fine. You can draw it, do the curl, put the fill in. But something about being repetitive. So, there we go. Alright. So, just working on those sections again at the bottom, just sort of add a little texture there, and let's add a few of those dots. Here we go. Hey! Alright, let's do another. So let's come from here. There we go, a little bit of a wave, and in we go. And then down again. And a bit of a wave. And again. I see this one's going to sort of collide with that last one I did. Oh, Chris, good question. I do plan them in advance. They don't always work out exactly the same, and that's absolutely fine because, you know, that we don't really sort of have to think about everyone is going to be the same. Well, everyone isn't the same, but I do plan it out, so I do know where I'm headed and what I'm doing. So, yeah, well, that's because it's because I'm the teacher, and I need to sort of, you know that whatever I'm doing, I need to work out how to teach it, if that makes sense. I mean, we can all draw them if we sat there working on it, but actually teaching it. And if I'm honest, that's possibly why you found Wednesdays a little bit more challenging. Maybe I could have taught it in a different way that would have given you a little bit more of a way in. So, I don't know, maybe I could revisit that at some point. But yeah, I do. I have to consider mostly how I'm going to teach it, so how it builds from there. So yeah, I do have a plan, and I think as again, coming from a teacher's point of view, I think if you haven't got a plan and you come onto a live Facebook and you don't really know what you're doing, I think that's a little bit worrying, because it's not fair on the people, you know, like yourselves, who are giving up your time to watch it and then try. You know, I think it needs to be prepared. It's just a respectful thing to do, isn't it? Yeah. Now you see this one, I've actually gone so it's looking like it's underneath. Glenys, yeah, shall I do that? Yeah, okay, I could do that, that's fine. Oh, I know, Richard. And trust me, my lesson plans were pretty hefty, and I always used to do them in different colours. So my objectives, every time, I had 3 objectives per lesson maybe, and each objective was a different colour, and you could see where it was in the lesson. Not that it always went to plan. Oh yeah, thank you for that, Chris. I know I'm not blaming, but you know, when you look back at it, you think, oh, maybe I could have taught that a little bit easier. Maybe, tell you what, maybe if I do a session and I just show you again how to do the middle section, so rather than do all of it, if I just go back over the middle section, maybe that would be something that would be helpful. Yeah, okay, I'll work out when I can do that. Maybe if I do it over the weekend, that would be, that's useful. Okay, I will have a look at my my times and things. I'll get back to you. I'll post on my page. We're gonna have to call you Chris H and all the rest of it, but you know, it gets a bit tricky, doesn't it, at times, because we don't always, you know. I mean, we have a couple of Sandras as well, you know, so I don't know. Okay, I think this one I'm going to have coming out of the frame. There we go. So it just shows you could have them all out, all in if you wanted to. It's just about how you want to create what it is you're doing. There we are. Okay, and again, because you can see this one. There we are. Yes, there are only 2 Julies. There's only 1 Julie with zingers though. All right. So we could add lots and lots of them, but again, just as before, I want to just add in something a little different. And this is something we've done before anyway, so I'll just sort of work you through it. Bit of a curve. I'm going to come underneath, see, and just add in a bubble on the end. Super villain. Oh, I think villains are underrated sometimes. Look at all the Disney villains, they're all there just to teach someone a lesson. You know, there's a moral to their stories. Okay. There you go. Yeah, Julie, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'll do the larger version again. I'll find some time this weekend, because of course Monday I had planned to I was going to go underneath there. Yeah, I had planned on showing you how to do the metal, how to sort of colour metal. You know, on one of my Facebook posts I've done the clock and the keys together, and one of the sections of the clock looks like metal. I'll show you how to do that. Really, that's funny. Yeah. I don't know if I ever practiced. I think it was always, you know, perhaps I went through it in my head. But there we go. Alright, so you see how this is sort of forming out. Okay. Just going to have another one here, look. See, it's going to go underneath, a little bobble on the end. There we go. And then I'm doing an aura, or I'm drawing around that line I've already done. And then here on the top, it gets a little bit of a hat. There we go. Keep my way around. So I think another one here. I'm going to do quite a small one. It's quite nice when you mix and match the sizes because it gives it a little bit of, makes it look like it's going up and underneath. Oh, they're lovely, aren't they? I like it, this one. I think I need a little bit of something more around here, but I'll come to that in a little while. Okay, maybe an actual, which we haven't done for a while, a zinger. So that's just a little dot that I've coloured. Just into those little lines there. So that's another one here. So I'm just doing a little aura, and then it's getting smaller and smaller. All right, let's have another one here. Look, let's bring it round there. Look at this, under and over. Hey, there we go, one there. Okay, just going to bring one probably out here. There we go. Look. There we go. Don't want to overdo it with them, do we? Okay, let's just have a quick look at this then. All right, so yeah, we've got quite a lot going on over here because we've got a lot of these flowers and you've got a bit of weight. But here it seems a little bit lacking. So I can come back in and I'm going to add in, let's add in another one of those. Remember the little ball there? The little curves either side. There we go. Let's add some of those in. So it doesn't need a massive amount. Let's do another one. But it just needs something a little bit more, just to give it that bit of balance either side. There we go. Okay, that's about right. So what I'm going to do now, I need to, remember this frame that we did, this circle? I need to put, oh it does, doesn't it? Yeah, Tracy never recognised. Just gonna put the circle back on there. There we go. All right, and wherever I can, I'm just going to come back in now and add in that circle. You see there, it's a little bit tricky, but I think I've got it. You could always go back in and do it by hand in a little while. See, there's a little bit there, look. And they were all, oh, I can't remember that one. I'll check that one in a moment. I mean, if it was over the top of it, you can see where you've been, but because I'm not over the top of the stencil, it's a little bit tricky. So rather than risk it and go over something, I shouldn't. There we go. Oh, there we go. So here we go. What did I miss? Oh, not much actually. Not much at all yet. There is a little bit there, look. There we are. So you can just work your way around. Because you've got it in pencil, you can see where your lines have been. There we are. Okay. Woohoo! Liking that. I tell you what would actually be quite nice to do as well. And you could put your stencil sort of back on. You know, maybe just a little bit tape there, but actually ink around the inside of it. And that would just give that a little bit more definition there. But let's come on in then and use some pastels. Whew, and pencil, of course. I think first of all, I'm going to come in with my pastels and I'm going to use a blue. I think I quite like the idea that I've got a blue ink on a blue tile. So let's stick with that for a little while. And of course, if you're going to use regular pencil, that's absolutely fine. Just do exactly the same as what I'm doing. So you're going to put a little bit either side and then a little bit in the middle. Not colouring in at all, just adding some either colour or graphite. So up each side most of the way and then a bit in the middle, okay? Each side, a bit in the middle. So you can hear how sort of chalky it is. It's quite nice to work with. You see, so I've got that kind of thing going on. So if I just move it out a little bit, oh, a bit more, there we go. That's it. Hey, I'm going to do that on all of them, but I've got two blues, so I'm going to use both of them. okay, and yeah, probably this one I'll go with this blue. See, I can't really put as much in there, but that's okay. And then here we go, is my other blue. Just gonna add in a bit there. Okay, same on this one. Of course, the smaller it goes, the less you can really put in there, okay? All right, so again, let's just move it up a little so you can see. And I'm gonna add a little bit of blue, just sort of the tops on there, see? So just sort of giving them a little hint. There we go. Okay, and same there, just over the top. So I'm really not trying to colour all of it in, just trying to give it a little bit of colour. This is where you'd put your regular pencil, so a little bit of shadow. Oh, Rona, yeah, no, I do need to get some more in stock. So, I've got to put an order in at some point. There we go. Okay. Oh no, Christine, you know what, that's why I think, because I've got 12 sat here, I don't really dwell on the colours. It's just, there's a blue. Oh, see, I've missed that one there. So I'm going to use that blue. I think if you start worrying too much about your colours, you lose track of what you're here for and what it is we're doing. So it's nice to have a lot of colours, but sometimes just sit with very few. See there, I'm just sort of putting a cross in the middle. See? A cross in the middle. And one there. Okay. And then I've got one purple. I'm going to bring my purple in and just touch on those stems just at the bottom edge, you see? And then here I'm just going to go either side and a bit in there. So again, it's not being really neat completely, it's just about adding a touch in places, and then we can use the torch to shade them in a little while. There we go. Okay. Mitch, I'll have to have a look actually. I might have watercolours in. I might. I just have to sort of do a quick check and look, but I might. Okay. I've got sort of a lime green here. I'm just going to sort of bring a little bit in just on the top of those leaves there. Let's see. There we go. You see there, because it's got a bit darker there, you know, with the ink, it's just helping bring that green out a little bit, isn't it? There we are. Oh, these pastels, Emma. Yeah, I need to get some more in stock. I'll have to sort that. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit on those leaves as well. And nothing much, just giving it a little bit of a colour. There we go. Of course, if you've got your regular pencil, then that's what you're using, that's fine. Okay, so I think I'm just going to come in with a yellow, just because I want something really quite bright. There we go. And I'm just going to add some yellow, you see, on those little sort of ball shapes that we created. They're just going to make them stand out a little bit. There we go. I'm not even going to try and shade them or anything. I'm just adding some to it. There we go. Okay. All right. Tortillon then. So here we go. Starting with the flowers in the centre. Again, I'm just going to work from here and pull out. You see? Just sort of even it out a little bit. And you're just wanting to not cover the whole flower, but you're just wanting to soften those edges. And leave some white, because we're going to come in, I say white, or leave some with the paper, whatever colour's underneath. We are going to come in with a bit of white in a minute, so, okay. Alright, so in we go with that, just adding that little bit of softness to the edges. You see, it doesn't really take much, it's just about sort of neatening off the line. Okay, and there we go. So that's a little bit stronger there, so I'm not going to press on too much. Just nice and lightly. Same with these. Now if you decide that you want to go and work from one side of the tile and do everything at the same time, just make sure that you're not going to muddy your colours up on your tortillon, because it can happen if you're not careful. So if you need to sort of use a bit of a nail file and clean your tortillon between each one. I mean, because I'm using blues and greens, it's not so bad, because I know, you know, they'll all mix and create slightly different greens and things. Obviously I'm going to save the purple bit till last, see, because that's my strongest colour, and I don't want purple in my green leaves. Okay, so just these, I'm just going to touch them. There we go. So it's just like stroking the paper, and it moves it downwards. There we go, see? There we are, just ever so gentle. Making my way down back. Okay. Alright. So I'm just again trying to keep that little bit of light of the paper, if I can, on the edges. And then just soften those little sections. You see, I've left a gap if possible. Just on the middles of those little babies there. There we go. Oh, little Benji had his trip to the vets yesterday for his checkup. Yeah, he's a big lad, considering Seth's 12 kilos and he's overweight. And Benji came out at 17 kilos. You're like, my goodness me. But he is a bigger dog, although they're the same breed. I mean, I'm sure that if Karen's watching, she's got a Sheltie, don't you, Karen? Yeah, that was quite large for a Sheltie, but yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to enlarge it. There we go. I'm coming back in with that blue pencil. What I'm going to do now again, you've got a choice. You could either shade in the inside of that circle or shade the outside of the circle. So I'm going to go on the inside. You see, I've gone a little bit heavier. I'm just going to go around where I can. Just adding some of this blue in. But again, if you're not using colour, that's fine. Go in and use your pencil. But try to just sort of focus on bits you can see. I know some of it's going under, some of it's going over. See, I can go over that one there, but I'm going to go under there. There we go. So you've got this ring all around. So then with this one, I'm going to come in, hold it a little bit further back, and I'm just going to really lightly go round with swirls. See, I'm not going to go into those flowers if I can help it. So I'm not expecting it to travel all the way in to the circle. It's just on these edges. So we're just sort of softening that line so it doesn't look so sharp. Just cleaning it. Oh, that's been put a fly. Better not do that bit. There we go. I've got a leaf there as well. It's amazing what you find that you've missed. There we go. Alright. So I'm just going to work that bit in there. There we are. Just work it round. So it's quite nice. Must have spring on my mind doing flowers. It's amazing, isn't it, how the seasons change and they make you feel different. It's just nice to have the opportunity, I think, to do something a little bit of a change. All right, so there we go. I've got that going all the way around. So now I'm going to bring in that white chalk pastel. Now, if you've got a white pen, that's fine. Use that, whatever you've got. There we go, so you can see it all. So white pastel, it could have only been a bit sharper, but not to worry. I'm just going to add in a white line onto the ones that we didn't add any colour in previously. So see here, just sort of down the centres. All right, it's just sort of highlighting a little bit. And of course, if you've used a white tile, you might not see this as much, but because I'm on one of these different coloured ones, it's nice to give it a little bit of something. So just brings it up a little. There we go. And a tiny bit in there. Okay. Now you see we've got this sort of little line here. I'm just going to add that white line there as well. Just going to bring it out a little bit. Same here. And, oh, one there, look. There we go. Okay, and then I might just add a little bit of, just to lighten up that butterfly a bit there, just in that, oh, little bit. Not say much, but just gives it a little bit. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, I think just before we finish with this, I'm going to come back in with the blue pastel. This is the darker one. I just think it needs a little bit more, just round that edge there. Just to sort of bring it out a little bit more. There we go. Don't be shy with it. Sometimes it needs a little bit more, and it's worth just doing the first one and then coming back into it if you need to. There we are. Just soften it up a touch. There we go. Alright, so you don't need much at all. It's just about easing it off a little bit. There we go. Okay. There we go. So that's better. So it just lifts it that little bit and just gives it an idea. Just that there's a little bit of depth there. And yeah, depending on what colour you decide to do this, it would be a lovely little topper for a Mother's Day card, wouldn't it? That was not my intention, I suppose, but it's nice to see that it's going to be something useful for you. So there we go, signature on there. So easy as that. She said, easy as that. Some people might find this easy, some people a little bit more difficult. Not quite, actually. I think I just do need to come in with a pencil. Just a regular pencil. See, I'm just going to add some underneath there. You see, just around there. Even though I've signed it, it don't matter. You know, when you look at it, you think, oh, it just needs a bit of something. That's it. Let's just bring those flowers out. There we are. See, even one on top. Okay, a bit there, look. And then it's just wake that torch on. That's better. Just needed that little bit of a lift. There we go. What a difference that makes. Alright. Almost there. And a little bit there. Okay. That's it, much better. Okay, so there we go. Friday's tile, all done and sorted. So let's just have a quick think about this then. Yes, I'll do another video showing you how to do Wednesday's tile, just the centre bit. I'm going to probably do it tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow afternoon. Let's do it at 2. That's it. You don't have to be there if you're not. So let me just write this down. So tile 115 centre. We're going to do again on Saturday at 2 o'clock, and I'll just sort of run through it so you get the idea. And Monday at 2 o'clock, I'm going to do a quick session. It won't be an hour, it'll probably be about half an hour of colouring metal. So I'll show you how to colour that metal effect. And then Wednesday, which I'll talk to you about on Monday, Wednesday we're going to have to change the time of our usual live because I'll be at Create and Craft, and it's sort of the show times are sort of messing with our times. How very dare they? But I will sort that out. And of course, tiles for swap, please keep sending them in. That would be absolutely wonderful. And other than that, I think that's everything for our diaries. Have a lovely weekend. Hope you've enjoyed this one. And yeah, give it a go and let me see what you're doing with it. Oh, do you want to see, actually, before we do go, I will show you the shaded one, the regular shaded. Just so you think, well, if Sandra doesn't plan, she was talking rubbish. Sandra does plan. There you go. So that's just our regular black and white one. And there you go, there's our coloured version. So, all right, do whichever you want to do, whichever you want to have fun with, and let me know, okay? Have a good one, and I will speak to you all again if you can tomorrow afternoon. If not, don't worry, it'll be there. I'll video it and you can watch it whenever. But other than that, I'll speak to you Monday. All right, take care. Bye.